Hi Tech family, welcome to the part 5 of Solidity programming language course. In this video, we are going to talk about the most important topic, which is state variables in Solidity. We will look at some types, how we can declare variables, how can we initialize variables, and there are how many ways to initialize our variables in Solidity, and we will see how we can work with these variables. So stick with us and let's move to the IDE. We are on the home page. First, let's close this home page, and here in the smart contracts folder, we will create a file. Let's say I will name it state variable.sol, mean the solidity file. And now we are in our solidity file state variable.sol. In the first line, we have to specify our license identifier. Otherwise, the compiler will not be happy. So let's see how we can specify the license identifier. You have to put /spdx license identifier column and MIT. That's how we specify our license identifier to make our compiler happy. And then we also have to specify the version of our compiler. So for that, we will write pragma solidity version will be greater than or equal to 0.7.0 and will be less than 0.9.0, and that's it. And now we will start creating our smart contract. For that, we will write contract, and the name of our contract will be state, let's say only state, and we will open the body, open and close brackets, and inside the body we will declare our variables. To declare variables, as Solidity is a statically typed language, so first we have to specify the type of our variable. That will be uint. Uint mean unsigned integer. As this is an integer type, so we will name it salary. Salary is also a number, so something like this we can declare our variable. And then let's go to the compiler. We have the compiler version, and let's compile it. It's successfully compiled. It gave us ABI and the bytecode, and now we are going to deploy it. So let's move to the deploy and run transaction, and then look at the account. We have this account and 100 ethers. When we deploy our contract, so that much gas it will take, and this will minus some ether from our account. So let's see. We are deploy our contract. In the terminal, you can see something is successed, and by charging that much gas, it minus some ether from our account. You can see 99.999 and so on. That's 99 is just because of their unit is way. That's why it's like this, and it minus some ether from our account. And now we have this instance of our smart contract, but we are not able to see anything in our smart contract. As this is a state variable, this should be able to visible here, but it's not. Let me tell you why it's not showing here. Just because we have not make it public yet. So make it public, and then again go and compile it. Let me tell you one more thing. The Solidity code work on compile time. Like, it's not dynamically typed language, it's the statically typed language, and its code work on compile time. Like the instance, that instance will not be changed. Like when I directly change this public and press Ctrl S, and this will become a public. This will not like this. For that, I have to compile it and deploy it again. So there will be another instance of this particular state, and then we will be able to work with that. That's simple. And now let's again deploy it, and some transaction is successful, and you can see that's our previous contract deployed. There is nothing, and let's close it, and we have this another smart contract. Open it, and now we have this salary because we have make it public. So what this public means? Public means when we public our salary means our variable, so it makes a getter method for it. So now that's a getter. In the Solidity programming language, we don't have the null variables. Like in C we have null, and in Python we have none. variables when we declare it directly. But in case of Solidity, there will be some value in the variable even when we have not initialized it yet, but there will be some value in it. To see where the value of this salary is, simply press on this salary and you can see there is a 0 value even though we have not initialized it yet. And the next is how we can initialize this variable. If you're familiar with any other programming languages, like when we declare the variable like this, we can simply initialize it like this. Like we type the salary again and equal to the value will be 3000. Like this, we can initialize our variables in other programming languages. So let's compile it and see is that correct or not. It says the parser error expected identifier but got equal to. That's the wrong way to initialize variables in our Solidity programming language. We cannot initialize variables like this in our Solidity programming languages. There are about 3 ways to initialize variables in the Solidity programming language. You simply have to remove it, and the first way is direct make it equal to 3000 and compile it, and that's correct. Again go, close this and deploy it. Now we have the third instance, salary is 3000. That's the first way to initialize variable. And the second way is, let's remove this. We can initialize this variable in our constructor. I will tell you what is constructor in the later videos, but first let's see we can initialize the variable in our constructor. We will make it like this, salary will be equal to 5000, and that's great. Again compile it. There is an error, function variable struct or modifier. Oh, my mistake, I passed it contract again, but that's not the contract but a constructor. Sorry about that, it's my bad. And again compile it, and now that's great. And then again move to the deploy and run transaction. Close this one, deploy it. The fourth instance is 5000. That's great. And the third way is simply we can make a setter to set this salary value to some integer value like this. So let's see how we can do this. Remove this constructor and make a function. Name will be set salary, and that will be a public function. Open its body, and salary will be equal to let's say 6000. And that's also a good way to initialize our variables in Solidity. Again let's compile it and close this one and deploy it. The fifth instance, we have, first let's check the salary. In the first step, when we check the salary, we have 0 salary. When we press this set salary and then again check the salary, now we have the 6000 salary after calling this set salary function. That's how we can initialize stat variables in our Solidity programming language. And again, I'm telling you, when you initialize a variable like this in your contract, that takes some storage in your contract, and when you deploy it, it charges some gas. So be careful in this case when you declare your variables in contract. Okay, that was great. That was a simple video just to show you how we can declare, initialize and work with variables. If you found this video helpful, hit a thumb on the like button and leave a comment if something is not clear to you. For now, goodbye, and I will see you in the next video.